generations, older generations, they often came from a world where love was shown through sacrifice, through providing, through staying, their presence, through enduring, keeping private matters private, not burdening other people with their feelings. Whereas younger generations are asking for love to include things like emotional attunement and accountability and repair and boundaries and mental health awareness. And all of those things are amazing, right? And I feel like we've overcorrected, like we also still, that there is value in boomer generations that said, you know what, I get that you're bored, but go outside and find something to do. Or if you come in, I'll put you to work. So if you don't want to work, go outside and play, right? Or just they could tolerate distress. Like my child doesn't want to go to school. Well, it's school and they're going, right? Today, what we see a lot with parents is that they're confusing their child's discomfort with danger or responding to the discomfort, not with like, hey, you got to suck it up and cope with this, right? But they're going straight for the emotion, which is good, but without that counterbalance of saying, we need to figure out how to tolerate this because life is hard, And so I think those values clashes are really where I see the most friction between generations.
Do you have an idea? I mean, I was talking to my mom about this, and we deal with the same kind of issues. I was talking to my mom about this conversation, and she was like, yeah, but every generation has a different parenting. Like, I felt this way with my parents. Do you think that that's true? Do you think that like every generation of parenting is just going to be different and we're always going to be like, oh, my mom sucks and I'm going to be different, and then it's just not the same? Or do you think that there's something going on about now?
I think there's something going on about now. I think older generations had those reflections of their parent. I think they had insight around it. I don't think they rejected their parents the way current generations do. And that rejection might be complete estrangement, or it might be sort of a rejection that is like not including parents and things, setting these really rigid boundaries. So when I say rejection, I know that most families aren't estranged, right? I mean, some families are, but most families aren't. I do think cutoff culture, though, is a thing. I think that the difference is before people would say, oh, my parents did it this way and I didn't like they did it this way, so I'm going to correct with my kids and we're going to do it a little bit differently. Whereas now we're kind of like, my parents did it this way. They abused me. They no longer are valid in my life as a human and have no value to me. And so bye-bye, and that is where I really think we have to, as a culture and as a society, really think critically, because I'm scared. Like I'm not a perfect person. Kibby, you're not a perfect person. We're raising kids right now. I mean, what am I doing to traumatize my children that someday they're going to say, you know what, mom, you just didn't hear me when I told you I was upset about this. And, now I've been traumatized. So I'm not trying to be callous either. I do want to acknowledge, like, some people have really been through abusive, horrible situations, right? And so I'm not trying to be flip about this in any way. But even in those situations, right, what we teach abuse victims is not that they're a victim their whole life. It's that they're a survivor. And there's a way that they can recover from the history and grow and develop coping skills, but also assertiveness and communication skills that help them move forward in relationships with the very people who have hurt them, right? And so no matter what you've been through, I'm not trying to erase pain or saying that doesn't matter. Of course it matters. Oh my gosh, we have to think about how people are treated. Growing up with a narcissistic mom or dad, that's like how you mentioned, that's really hard. There's nothing easy about that, right? The question is, can someone hurt you and can you still also love them at the same time? Can you have a relationship with someone and set boundaries with them, right?